The old mansion stood at the edge of town. People called it Andheri Chaya, the dark shadow. Locals whispered tales of it being haunted. No one dared to go near, especially not at night. Ajay and Shyam were best friends, always up for a challenge.
One day someone dared us to go into the mansion. We laughed it off, but the seed of fear was planted.
That night they couldn't shake off the dare. They decided to prove everyone wrong.
We would go in just for a few minutes and come right back out.
At the stroke of midnight, they stood before the imposing iron gates of the mansion. The house loomed over them, its shadow stretching out like grasping claws. The rusted gate creaked open with a groan as if warning them to turn back. Holding their breath, Ajay and Shyam stepped inside. The air grew heavy, thick with the smell of decay and something else, something unidentifiable and sinister.
Cobwebs brushed against our faces like ghostly fingers.
Each step echoed in the deafening silence. They rounded a corner, their flashlights dancing across the dusty portraits lining the walls. The eyes of the people in the portraits seemed to follow them. Suddenly Shyam gasped. A cold gust of wind extinguished his flashlight, plunging them into darkness.
What was that?
He whispered, his voice trembling. Ajay fumbled with his flashlight, his heart pounding in his chest. It flickered back to life, illuminating a figure at the end of the hallway. It was a tall, shadowy figure with glowing red eyes and long, flowing hair that seemed to float around its head. The figure moved towards them, gliding effortlessly over the floor. The eyes burned into them, filled with an ancient and unspeakable evil.
Both boys screamed, their voices echoing through the empty halls.
Ajay and Shyam were never seen again. The next morning, the police found their flashlight on the floor of the mansion, still flickering faintly. The memory card from their camera was still intact. The footage showed the boys' terrified faces as they ran through the dark hallways, pursued by the shadow with glowing red eyes. Then, the footage cut to static. The last thing heard was a blood-curdling scream and then silence. Andheri Chaya still stands, its shadow looming over the town. No one dares to go near, forever haunted by the chilling story of Ajay and Shyam.